Are we going to start yet, Nick?
Yes, Greg. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Star
Hi, Nick.
and Beer Analysis 101. Your host, Maxwell Star. Anyway, if you can't tell already, Greg is here.
I'm here.
We're not gonna talk to Greg. First and foremost, we are doing Warsteiner German Pilsner tonight, aka Premium Verum. Although they don't say Premium Verum on the cans anymore, which is a surprise to me. First, and then moving along to who we have with us tonight, we got Mr. Ashley of Sexton Brewing Co. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great, thank you, Nick, and hello everybody. Which is nobody, it's just us. So, Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna skip over Greg, so we're gonna go right to Redbeard here. Hi, Redbeard. How are you making it tonight?
I'm all right. Thanks for having me, man.
All anytime. Word. All right, I guess we can't go to Greg.
Hello, Nick. How are you this fine evening?
I'm all right. Tired. What's up? How are you
Why
doing?
are you tired, Nick? Is it from your bike ride?
Well, that and a long day at work.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's very difficult going under people's desks and hooking up wires and stuff like that.
Is that seriously what you think I do all the time?
No, I actually don't think you're that active at work. I think you click. I think you probably
That's actually close to pretty accurate too. But no, today we had a busy day in the office itself doing stuff, so I'm not going into details. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get down to the beer that we have tonight, which is Warsteiner Premium Verum. Let's read the history on it. This has actually been written mostly by a guest writer tonight, Mr. Jamie Zinger. Thank you very much, Jamie. He is going to be maybe possibly appearing later in this video. So the story of Warsteiner begins in the town of Warstein, located in the Duchy of Westphalia within the Holy Roman Empire, today Western Germany, when a local farmer by the name of Antonius Kramer started the company. The earliest mention of the brewing company is a tax record from 1753. He was asked to pay beer tax, 1 Reichsdaler and 19 guilders, on beer he brewed and sold himself, as his home brewing volume surpassed the volume allowed for personal consumption. Antonius' son, Johannes Vitus Kramer, followed his father's footsteps and brought the selling of homebrewed beer into his house. In the heart of Warstein. The company benefited from the central location, however. In 1802, a fire destroyed big parts of the town of Warstein, and the home business fell victim to the flames. The house was rebuilt as a guest accommodation and is known as the Domschlanke. The Domschlanke is the headquarters of Warsteiner Brewery, and it still stands in the historic core of Warstein today. An upscale restaurant at the Domschlanke is open, where guests can enjoy historical ambience and dining room and sample the products in the house from the taps on the traditional bar. Warsteiner has been exporting its beers internationally since the 1980s and is today managed by the 9th generation of the Kramer family. So this is actually still a family-run brewery. The newly remodeled brewery south of Warstein has succeeded in reducing its consumption of energy and water with continuous investments in logistics and technology. It was one of the first breweries in Germany to receive an ISO, or International Organization of Standardization, energy management certification. It's like energy, was it 9001 or some shit? Other beers from Warsteiner include, of course, the Premium Dunkel. They have a Premium Radler. They have a Doppelhop lager, which is still just 4.8% ABV. It's just got extra hops in it. A winter lager. They have Premium Fresh, which is their non-alcoholic beer, and they also, I'm not sure if they own or have the license to produce, but they make the König Ludwig line of Hefeweizens, like the Dunkel and the Hefeweizen. I think there's a Crystal Weizen as well. And the Pater Linus line of Belgian Abbey ales. So Premium Verum is a 4.8% ABV, 28 IBU, German-style Pilsner, not to be confused with a Czech style, brewed with 2-row spring barley and pelletized hops that were harvested fresh and immediately pelletized using the CO2 process. It is Warsteiner's flagship beer and is currently exported to over 60 countries around the globe. So yes, pelletized hops. They're saying that, they were pelletized fresh, but they're still pelletized, so they're not that fresh, are they? All right, without further ado, we'll get down to the comments, of which we have none. So let's just skip over to Ashley and let him talk about pellet hops and his history of Warsteiner.
Well, I did check this beer once in 2018. I'm sure I've had it a few times between now and then, and I probably had it a few times before that as well, but it's probably just never bothered. Tapping it, I mean, this is like pretty widely accessible in Ontario, so it's like one of those whenever you're in the mood for like some Euro Pilsner or something like that, you know, grab Warsteiner, Pilsner Kel, you know, so on and so forth. The way you go, but so yeah, I've only tapped it in once, but I've definitely had it at least a dozen times. But that is about it with my history.
Is that very nice, sir? And your comment on pelletized hops, is that actually pretty normal for a big brewery?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, for most like microbreweries, for sure, absolutely. The vast majority of them would use pelletized hops.
Okay.
I think when you get to the big size or to the macro scale, they're using extract more, which is just like more of a liquid version. But your majority of your craft breweries will be using pelletized hops. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go over to Greggy. What's your history of Warsteiner? Do you have any?
I wish I was as smart as Ashley. Yes, I checked it in just a little over 3 years ago in 2017, and I had it once, and I do not believe I've probably had it before or after then. So I had it once. I'm having it twice. You're my number 2, Nick.
I'm always your number 2, Greg. I always remember your second.
That was a poop joke.
Yeah, it was a bad joke. All right, let's go over to Redbeard. I'm sure is probably the first time he's drinking this.
First, I got to run up along the brewing questions for Ashley. What the fuck is brewing water? Do you notice that? First ingredient on this can? Brewing water? Barley malt, hops, hop extract, the best before.
Yeah, they're probably just alluding to the fact that when you're brewing, you have to add minerals and salts to the water to get the pH levels and all that stuff up.
I think okay, so they have their own like special treatment that the water might go through before it's okay, yeah, fair enough. As far as this goes, I randomly thought yesterday was Wednesday for some weird reason and bought a can. And last night I was sitting around bored and I drank the can last night, so this is my second can ever. That's my history with the beer.
That was actually very true.
All right, let's go back over to me and say my history of it. I know I tapped this back in December 2015, but actually I've had this way earlier than that. I'm trying to remember when I did my review of it. Everybody's quicker than I thought they were going to be, and I thought I had time to look this up because I didn't really have much time to prepare tonight.
Nick, why didn't you have Jamie write this segment for you too?
Well, I'm looking up when my beer review was done. It was early. But I mean, with Warsteiner, it's one of my early. Yeah, it was beer review number 52. So that's going back 9 years ago. But I mean, I've had this even earlier than that. I think the first time I ever had this was either 2009 or 2010 when I was experimenting more and more with like different beers at the A&BL store. And Warstein, I think, was one of the first like German-style Pilsners I'd ever tried. And I remember really liking it because it was unique compared to like stuff that calls itself a Pilsner, like Labatt Blue calls itself a Pilsner. Is like, well, not really, but this thing, like between this and Czechfire, they're two totally different types of Pilsner, but they're at the same time in a different league than what we are normally used to, what called itself a Pilsner at the time locally. So it was different. It was, I remember it being a unique experience, and I would drink it every once in a while back in 2009, 2010. And I think most recently I bought one of these and drank it a few weeks ago, thinking we could do a beer analysis 101. And it was still pretty tasty, but I don't really want to spoil too much about tonight. So let's just split up here and say we have 3 viewers right now. So hello, 3 viewers. Feel free to drop a comment and let us know what you're drinking and interact with us, because just like probably you are, we're starving for attention.
One of those is probably Ashley Sexton. One of those is probably Nick. Hello,
Actually, I don't have it open, so that's 3 right there. Redbeard, Greg, and Ash.
I don't have it open, so it's possible we have 2 viewers.
We have one unique viewer, which is probably raining on your parade who hasn't said anything yet. Or maybe Lee or Paul.
Please drop some hate speech upon Nick.
Lurking in the background.
Tell us how much you hate Nick's red shirt. How much better my orange flying around a beer fest.
Saying I'm expendable, Greg. At least mine's got a collar, which is kind of.
Well, listen, Nick, I'm not fancy like you are. I don't wear my collar at home.
Yeah, I'm wearing a polo shirt.
Not the only collar Nick wears. I'm implying you're into the kinky stuff.
Yeah, that one classy. All right.
Quiet all of a sudden.
Brewed according to the German purity law. We didn't mention that. I usually mention Reinheitsgebot every time I see that, which is, of course, brewed only with barley malt, water, hops, and yeast. 4 major ingredients. That's kind of neat because this actually isn't from the Bavarian region of Germany. It's actually closer to Cologne, which is where Kolsch's are from, which are a bit different. But it's still brewed with the only allowable ingredients. So it's kind of like the influence of. And besides, like, how long has the Pilsner been around? When we did Pilsner Urquell, it's not like it was around for 300 years or 500 years. So.
Ashley muted.
Muted, Ash.
Oh, muted Sexton.
I honestly cannot remember how long Pilsner Urquell has been in production for. I have no idea. And you could have fooled me with the German purity law on this one because this one comes across a little corny for me.
Really?
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing and I thought people were going to think I'm stupid.
It comes across a little corny, but I think what it is, it's just
the toasted grain kind of thing going on.
No, I get like a soft, rounded breadiness to it.
I'm getting like a metallic something.
Sweetness.
I'm getting more like almost like rice or something.
It's like I'm drinking a
like a little fruity, grainy kind of thing going on.
I feel like I'm drinking a coin of some kind.
I suppose I'll just go
right
into. I'll just go right into my thoughts on this one. But
yeah, let's just skip across to our final thoughts and shit.
I mean, the aroma is sort of what I would expect, from like a macro Pilsner or whatever. It's like, slightly grassy, a little crisp, but, nothing like super exciting or anything. But I find with this, it's got like a soft, bready sort of sweetness to it that is not what I'm really looking for in a Pilsner. I think I mentioned this before, just like a nice sharp bitterness, nice crisp like cracker type of malt presence, like an earthy bitterness to it. And this comes across a little bit more on the soft side of things, a little bit more rounded, and a little bit sweeter, and not as like spicy and biting as I would want. So, I mean, I was looking back on my previous thoughts on this beer on Untapped, and I was like, wow, either I'm like way too drunk now or I was way drunker back then. So, because I gave it a really high rating, but right now, as I drink it right now, I'm not really enjoying it all that much compared to like some other European Pilsners that I can get, like that are same price point and et cetera, et cetera. So, so I'm going to say for style, I'm just going to give this like a 6.5 for style. And personal preference, I'll give it a 6, I guess. So
that was what? The 6, or sorry, something in the 6?
6.5 for style, and then a 6 for personal preference. I prefer the dab I was having before this.
Yeah, kind of weird. Style over. Alrighty. Let's go over to Mr. Greg and see what he is thinking right now. Now you have to, not only do you have to follow up Ashley, you have to do it in rapid succession.
All I really need to do is just repeat what Ashley said, and then I just seem smart and we move on.
You have to remember what he said first.
Yeah, I wasn't totally paying attention. But what I'll say is I'm glad Ashley said that I get a corny taste from this. Like, I didn't think, I know sometimes you get a corny taste from beer that don't have corn in them, but this is a fairly strong one. Like, if you gave this one to me blind, I'd be hard pressed to think this wasn't an American adjunct lager. So, yeah, I'm not impressed. And then I also thought I was drinking a lager, and I'm like, yeah, it's sweet, it's not great, but it's a Pilsner. I'm like, Pilsner's supposed to have a little more grassy flavor, supposed to be a little tastier, a little hoppier, and this is none of those things to me. So I don't like it very much. I rated it. I think I rated it on the tap 3 years ago. I gave it I believe I gave it a 6.5. Yeah, I gave it a 6.5, and I'm not even going to go that high on this. For me, as a Pilsner, complete fail. Like, well, I'll give it a bare pass because it's drinkable. So I'll give it a 5 on style, and because it's not in the realm of gross or anything, but it's just very meh. Personal enjoyment, at this point, I think it's warmed up too much to really be where it's at. If this was ice cold, I'll give it a very generous 5.5.
Oh, 5.5 for overall.
5.5 out of 10 overall. Yes.
Okay, which is 6 something for style.
No, I said 5. Dead even 5 for style.
Oh, all right.
5 and 5.5.
All right. Let's see if Redbeard brings numbers down.
It's okay. I don't hate it, but it's far from the best Pilsner I've ever had in my life. Like far, far away from that.
It's not
Not really anything else I can say with a touch of going to echo Ashley or Greg. So, style 6, enjoyment 6. One more 6 because devil.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
Right.
Wow.
All right, so me, I'm gonna go over to me. The first before I start on mine, what's your date on the bottom of your cans?
January something next year. Best before January 28th of next year.
April 21st, 2021.
Okay, I was wondering why I'm getting different tasting notes. Mine's like already expired. So fucking NB liquor.
Yours is already expired?
Yeah, it says it expired on July 31st, 2020.
Oh my god, you missed it by a month.
Yeah, right.
You're gonna die.
I know, it's weird. Yeah, right.
Now, how far
It kind of explains why I'm getting some of the tasting notes. It's dirtier and earthier than I remember. It's light. It is very light. It's kind of fluffy. There's a touch of caramel. I'm not really getting much else. Light cardboard, hint of sulfur, very drying. It's practically flavorless, but I remember it being better kind of thing. But this is just not. It's just not, if that really makes any sense. I'm not really happy with what the can I've got. I've had better cans of Warsteiner, and I like you guys are talking about tasting notes. I'm like, man, I'm not getting that. Why am I not getting this? Is this a best before date? Yes, it is. Crap. All right. So yeah, that said, 5 and 5 style and overall. So
I think regardless of the tasting notes from anyone, I think the general consensus is that this is not a beer that we ever want to revisit. But I don't know. Yeah. This one seems a lot worse than the ones I've had in the past. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is something
me right now.
This is something I do have a soft spot for, and I do like it. Maybe a little bit fresher than this, but yeah, it's never really been anything remarkable. But it's kind of more akin to what I think of when I think of a German-style Pilsner. Like a Czech-style Pilsner's kind of got a bit more flavor. It's a bit harsher in its hops. And why is my camera not focusing? There we go. But this one here is nice. This one here is much drier. Anyway.
Oh, Rennie on your page is in the chat. He says, a Warsteiner is the beer everyone pairs with brats and sauerkraut. And I agree. Seems to be no better beer for the job. Did not pick up a Warsteiner tonight. Had it 100 times. It's been a few years since I had the Warsteiner. And then Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. Hey, folks. Hello.
Hey, Malt Muser.
Cheers.
Hello.
All right. There he is. Malt Muser is there saying, hey, folks. Let us know if you're drinking anything, whiskey or beer, doesn't matter. All right, so let's go over to our mystery reviewer here, too, and talk about, I think, Jamie.
Hey, guys. Just enjoying a Warsteiner. My 2-word review of this beer, pillowy soft. That's what I'll say about it. Pillowy soft. It's wonderful. I don't think I've ever had it, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. It's a great one to stock your fridge up with. I don't generally gravitate towards Pilsners, which is probably why I have not tried this one before. But yeah, it's very enjoyable. I'm going to give it, for style, I'll give it an 8.5. And for my personal enjoyment, I'll give it a 7.75. Let's say that. Cheers.
Wow.
8.5 and 7.75. He brought the numbers up.
Yeah,
He's doing all the heavy lifting.
he brought this beer from the brink.
Never noticed until that video was going. Ashley had some weird background noise happening this evening. Never noticed.
It's the kids. They're
Yeah, fair enough. Just being picked up. It's not terrible. Just like when that the video was on, it was like, holy shit. Just
I'm sorry.
You know, if it's any small detail, Redbeard picks right up on it. So
Yeah, Ashley, next time, would you mind locking the kids in the shed or something?
Yeah, it's the spelling errors of real life.
That was.
you can see the I hate you guys stare from Redbeard right now.
No. He just compared his children to grammatical mistakes. I find that pretty hilarious.
You said your kids were mistakes.
Just careful how Redbeard doesn't come to your house, try to correct them.
Anyway.
There we go.
Okay, that's pretty even rating. Okay, let me get the graphic all done up here, all pretty in my MS Paint.
The last drink of that beer was really, 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 really not good.
I find it dirtier than I remember. I don't remember it being this dirty.
Wow. I didn't like that. I need something tasty.
And you had one last night as well, though?
Yeah.
It was probably at the end of the night when your palate shot anyways.
I was like halfway through. I already had a couple beers, but my it was a lot colder as well.
Yeah.
This one was chilled, but not. I should have thrown it in the freezer for like a half an hour. Get her nice and cold.
Get her nice and cold.
Jeez, Nick, you don't have to make accents. Come on.
But it's fun to mix the accent.
I think that was the first time I actually have a Warsteiner glass, and I think this was the first time I actually had a Warsteiner.
Ooh. I have a Warsteiner glass somewhere, but I didn't have time to dig it out to me.
Hashtag proper glassware for Mr.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
look at the
but
volume on it. It's only the 0.2 liter or whatever.
that sounds about that sounds about the same as my glass. It's tall and slender.
It's super small. I had to refill it like 4 times. It's like, no, I don't want to drink more of it.
Oh God.
I keep on filling the glass.
Alrighty, so let's go to full screen here and share the ratings. Boom. Boom, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's rough.
Ooh.
It's definitely no MGD.
It's no MGD, that's for sure.
It's like Ashley reached over and placed his glass right there on the screen.
It
It
is.
totally did.
Well, at least Jamie was able to keep it in the 6s.
There you go.
I love that it's got like the watermark from whatever site on Google I took it from.
Oh, geez, Nick,
Beer
that's
wine.
Oh,
So everybody visit beer-wine.de for your beer needs in Germany, I'm assuming.
right, beer needs in Germany.
Anyway. Yeah, so that's it. So now we're just waiting for somebody to ask the magic question so we can go offline.
Nick,
This is a real quick episode tonight.
What's next week's beer, Nick? What's next week's
It
beer?
has to be asked by somebody in the audience.
Um,
Come on, Radio on your parade.
You know how this works.
come on, guys. We want to go out to recess.
I will spoil it. It's not really as exciting as this week. So,
Had 3 Polliner. Okay, Rating on Your Parade says, had 3 Polliner Oktoberfest beers today.
Ooh.
Drinking a Burlington Beer Company. It's complicated being a wizard. Double IPA, 8%. Great stuff.
WNWB.
shut up, Redbeard. Polliner Burlington Beer Company. Complicated being a Wizard DIPA diaper. Free Polliner Oktoberfest is one I wish I could get here, because I remember the one time that I had it was really good.
I
mean,
hope it
again.
comes up again.
Shut up, Redbeard. All right, so yeah, he did ask the magic question, so we're gonna talk about what's next week's beer. Drum roll, please. Pretty sure we haven't done. I think maybe we did the 1664 before, but not the Blanc.
I don't think I can get it, Nick.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, probably downstairs at your local LCBO, which is
Probably
like,
has like two in the back of his fridge.
which is like 500 feet from your place.
I
Anyway,
got a glass for that.
yeah. So that's a Belgian style whip beer from France. So it should be kind of exciting. Maybe.
We're
Overnight France.
Vive la France, Nick.
Oui, oui. Alrighty. So I think that's about it. we batted this one out as quick as that beer goes down, even though it didn't impress all of us. At least it goes down super easy.
Down east.
And it's quickly gone. All right. So I want to thank everybody for watching Radio Parade and Malt User. Thanks for popping in. Thanks Ashley, Greg, and Redbeard for being on tonight. And we will chat with you folks possibly in a bit if there is an after chat.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we don't know how many people we're going to have in the after chat. So there you go.
Giant throbbing penis.
Ooh, giant throbbing penis.